How you doing, everybody? This is Brian from Bar Electrical Solutions. I told you guys I'll give you a van tour, so this is kind of going to be it. It's 40 degrees out. It's a little windy, so I'll do the best I can. I got a cameraman, so we'll see how this works out a little bit. So you come take a look. I did pull everything out of my van so you guys could take a look. You can see on the other side everything's out, so you can kind of see what we got going on. So if you come to the back, show you some of the stuff I have. So right here, this is a Greenlee pipe bender. I use this for, show it on the tools. Over here is what I'm looking at. So if you're running PVC, you run a lot of PVC, you would stick the PVC in there. Once you turn it on, this box gets pretty hot, and you just spin this PVC around, and once it gets hot enough, this thing will be like jelly. I mean, it'll bend in 90 degrees. It'll bend over anything you want it to. So if you do like a lot of swimming pools or spas, or even like car chargers where you have to run PVC to get the lines out, this is actually a perfect thing. So for my tool pouch over here, back up a little bit there, Bennett, over here. There you go, get over there. So I use Occidental tool pouches. As you'll see, I have a lot of new stuff. I replaced a lot of my old stuff, whatever was either stolen, broken, or just come up missing from moving quite a few times or just doing whatever. But I found these Occidental bags, and to me, I love them. They work great. So this is the one I use for mostly my service work, or if I'm running conduit. Now if I'm doing rough-in work and wood houses and stuff like that, I use this other Occidental bag. This is the Fat Lip. It's mostly nylon and leather, but it has a lot more pouches. It's a lot lighter, so it's a lot easier to get around on. And where I carry most of my tools, I use these Occidental totes. We're not going to go through all these. I'll do this on a separate video where I show you what kind of tools and all I carry. But I do have separate totes. This is usually my go-to tote that I carry on every job, along with my tool pouch, because electricians don't carry every tool they have in their tool pouch. That's going to be ridiculously heavy. But looking in the back of the van, never used this yet, but I'm going to give it a try. This is a DEWALT 20-volt caulking gun. So whenever you're drilling through concrete or siding and then you have to caulk it, this is the best thing to use. I have various Klein hammers over here, a couple chisels that I leave hanging up because I don't use these every day, so I kind of leave them in the van, but they're easy to get to whenever I need it. Over here I have a couple of my long fish tapes. Have a couple steel. I do have a couple of fiberglass fish tapes, so when you're by yourself and you have to fish into a panel, fiberglass fish tapes is the way to go. So come around the side here. So I want to show you what I did. So I bought these DEWALT racks for my house, but then whenever I got this van, I wanted to be able to put my DEWALT boxes in here. So I went to Home Depot, bought these 1-inch square tube shelves, already had all the holes pre-drilled in them. I built this rack. It's in here. It is solid, and it is not going anywhere. So you look, so I have quite a few of these DEWALT boxes. In these boxes, like this one here, like I have my bandsaw, circular saw, roto zip. Put all this in here. And it goes right up on the rack. Locks in place, doesn't go anywhere. So you kind of look. So when I do have to bend EMT, I keep my benders in here. I have quite a few magnetic levels. I keep them right in here, easy to reach. As you see, I put these LED strip lights in. Whoever uses these, I mean, they're just great. It keeps everything bright. And what I did is I put these bungee straps across the ceiling to keep a lot of stuff up off the floor. I have my fish rods in here. This stick with this, I guess it's got a brush on the end. It's got a stick. I heard people call it a broom. Not really sure what it's used for, but I think we keep them in the trucks for luck, so I keep it along with this. I don't use this either, but I just keep it there so people see it, so it looks like I use it. Right here, I keep all my DEWALT batteries. This drawer system works out pretty well. Then I also have some accessories, heat gun for when I'm using heat shrink, couple 8-volt screwdrivers. Still trying to get used to these, but they actually work pretty well. Adapter for my old 18-volt tools that I pretty much replaced all of them, but if I need one of them, I can put this adapter in it and I can use my 20-volt batteries for it. Works out great. 4-battery rapid charger. Can't leave home without it. This works out great. But if you hop up on in the van here with me, show you. So I bought this used box. I needed a gang box to put in just to secure some of my stuff. This is where I keep my tool pouch and my tool totes, and it stays in here locked up because security is number one. I have a DEWALT socket set, impact socket set here. I carry knockout punch in here, so if you have to knock a hole out. My laser level, hole cutters, carbide hole cutters. They're relatively expensive. I have a torque screwdriver set, Klein torque screwdriver set. So you guys know if you have to torque anything. I bought a brand new one. I actually have 2 of them, so I will be giving one away. So you guys keep an eye on my channel. I will be giving a brand new one of these away soon. Greenlee hole punch. If you're doing a metal framing in a house, you go through, you punch these out, you put a bunch of these in, and you run your Romex through it, or NMB, whatever you want to call it. For any of my British followers, twin and earth, I guess that's what you guys call it, but it works out well. We'll put some of this back in here, get it out of the way, so I can show you some more stuff. Of course, everything just barely fits, but I just like to get it in and out of the way so you guys can see what else I got. So I have these bins over here. A lot of it's miscellaneous stuff, but this is all my PPE stuff. Extra gloves. I don't know who. I wear gloves every time I work, and I always use these Klein gloves, so I always keep extra. As you can see, and they're cut resistant. Lockout, tag out, or safe isolation. Just got some new heat shrink, some crimp connections. I keep that in my miscellaneous box. Up here I keep my small fish tapes, my clamps in case I gotta secure something down. I do keep some fish tape stuff here for fishing in walls and stuff like that. I haven't tried this yet, but I know it's going to work well when I do need it, and hopefully I get this on film so you guys can see it. Do carry some stuff for my fishing rods. I have some wire lube for having to pull a lot of wires through either PVC or EMT. Sometimes it gets difficult. I always keep some spare wire on the truck in case I need it. And let's hop back out and let's take a look at some of the stuff I have. So you see, it looks like I have a lot of stuff, but a lot of these boxes, you don't want to put too much in them. They're too heavy. I do have some old corded drills that I've had forever. I do have the new 20-volt hole hog from DEWALT. That'll be my go-to. And then these just hop in the truck. I just slide it right on in. They don't go anywhere. All these DEWALT boxes snap together, so as you take them in, as you can see, this one's I use just for a lot of screws and miscellaneous stuff. So everything's labeled. So this, I have my angle grinder, sawzall, small circular saw, jigsaw. I also keep some blades and everything in there, so anything I need to cut. So for those of you who do a lot of drilling, and use the big boy, this is like a vacuum attachment. It hooks up to my DEWALT vacuum cleaner for when I'm drilling. Hopefully we'll get that on video, but I'll show you the drill that I use it with. I used to use it with my Hilti, but now I got this big DEWALT here. I use a 12 amp hour battery with it, and this will go through anything. I do have a Bosch ground rod attachment. Those who don't have one of these, it's worth its weight in gold, and it's pretty heavy. All right, let's go back over here. So I call this my everyday DEWALT box. This is the box that goes with me on every job, no matter what. So it has a lot of my various SDS bits, impact, small SDS that has the vacuum attachment to it, my multi-tool. Everybody should have one, no matter what trade you're in. This thing is a lifesaver. And also my drills, hammer drill. This is my everyday DEWALT, and I have plenty of bits. Every job I'm on, this box goes with me. So over here, flying drivers and sockets. So, Klein impact driver. Takes DEWALT batteries. Very nice. It is not made by DEWALT. It is made by Klein. Klein impact driver. What I like about this, I usually use my DEWALT, but I do use this. It has a longer handle. So if you're wearing gloves and heavier gloves, this is actually more comfortable to use than the regular DEWALT. And in here, my heavy duty Klein stuff. 7/16 impact driver, right angle impact driver, and also my cable cutters and crimpers. So if you're ever doing any kind of service work, you have to make any splices or crimps, this is definitely the way to go. Klein makes excellent products for that. Now, coming over to the table here, I got everything pulled out. So I keep a lot of stuff in this bag. So it's pretty much miscellaneous stuff. So I have a lot of Klein sockets, wrenches. I have standard and metric. I also have the ratcheting wrenches. There's an insulated multi-screwdriver kit, which comes in handy if you definitely need it. Insulated nut drivers. So anytime you're working in any kind of live equipment, live panels where you have bolt-in breakers and stuff, this is what you're going to use. I have my T-handle torque wrenches. I have them in standard, metric, and also in the torque. So small screwdrivers. This is going to have all my, I have the multi-bit, the mini screwdrivers for various electronic work. Also have the multi one here. It has a spinning thing on the end, so a lot of people, so instead of just doing this, you can actually hold it with the palm of your hand and it'll actually turn and you won't drop the screwdriver. Do have a bunch of Klein Allen keys, panel Allen key, a lot of panels. I have specialty screwdrivers. So I don't know, some of you guys remember what these are. These are screw holding screwdrivers. Put the screw on there, you slide that up, and it holds it pretty tight so you can get it started. I have some tight right angle screwdrivers. I have a lot of security bits, stubby screwdrivers and stuff in there. Some Klein right angle ratcheting bit, which comes with, fits any of these in there, so you can use it pretty much anywhere. This, I've used this a couple times and I'm really glad I had it. Another thing here, you got some just regular nut drivers, long and short, the hollow shafts for long screws. And of course, every electrician will need eventually some plumbing cutters, whether you're cutting a piece of EMT in a bad spot and you just need to cut it out, or you got to do plumbing work. Every electrician I know has to. So look at the door here. All these Occidental bags came on those totes that you see in the back. I don't like my totes with the bags on them, so I actually took these off. I cut a little slit in the door and I just slid these in, but these are removable. So if I need them, I take them. I just use them to store extra stuff. Here's something that I didn't think I would ever like. So these little rechargeable Klein lights that you put on a hat, flat brim hat, I mean, they work great. If you're working somewhere and if you're wearing a hat, man, they work great. Especially go hunting or something, they work good on those too. So I usually clip them on in here, but I'm just setting them there for now. This usually goes on my Klein tool belt, but I felt that it was too much, so I just keep it on the door, which actually works out well. I usually keep a pen and pencil in there, but this is my notepad. My pen and pencil's up in the front. I keep a razor knife there. And let's see, let's slide around the back here and let's see what else we got. This DEWALT light, and I'm going to do another video just on my DEWALT flashlights and stuff. So this light, it raises up, put it in, you lock it in place, it goes up even higher. This light is great for when you're working in a panel. You can put it behind you where it's shining in over your shoulder. So, and usually when you're working on a panel, you're working in the dark. So, and this puts out a lot of light. And if you have more work going on where you're doing work, I use this area light on this stand. It's just a little crooked because I just set it out here, but this light is pretty bright. This, you can raise this up because you want this light pretty much over your head, and it will light up the whole room. So if you have other work going on, you have some helpers or apprentices with you, this light's great. I usually put a 12 amp hour battery in all my lights, so I know they'll stay on all day. Oh, let's see. So usually don't use a broom, but on big jobs where you're doing a lot of drilling and wood and stuff like this, I usually go through the house with this. This is the power broom. That's what we call it. Radio, everybody's got to have a radio. So for regular jobs, this is my go-to vacuum. This is usually what I bring in the house to clean up anything. But if I'm doing a service call, this thing is great. You put a little 2 amp hour battery in there, you go in, and if you ever worked in these old houses, you took off the switch cover, a lot of dirt and stuff falls out. This is perfect. Get in there, sweep it up, and you're out. Of course, more flashlights, and I'll do another video on that. I keep some trays around. Really haven't found a place for them yet, but usually one I'm going to keep breakers in. Other one I keep, just bought some new SDS Max bits for the big drill. I bought this just because I like it, not because I need it, but just because I want it. Klein flashlight. It's for a bucket truck, but if you ever work in a lift, which we do a lot, this thing is adjustable. It is bright, and it's got some weight to it. You can set it on the ground. You can direct it to wherever you need it to go. Perfect light, but I'll do another video just on some Klein lights and stuff I have as well. So, job fan. Everybody should have a job fan. These are relatively cheap. I usually stick a 6 amp hour battery in there. The other batteries get too big, but this thing lasts pretty much all day on a battery. So if you need it, you have it. Nothing fancy about ladders, just a 6 foot, 4 foot, carry them. So this bag here is probably the best bag that Klein Tool makes. This is my test bag. I use it for all my test stuff. My scope. So if I need to see in a wall or something like that that I can't normally see in, I'll put it in there. It's got an app on my phone. I can pull it up on my phone and see exactly what's going on behind the wall. Thermal imager. I use this every time I go into a house to do an estimate. I look at the panel. I always see what condition the panel's in right away, and it tells me. I got a couple GFI testers, digital GFI tester, infrared heat gun. So if you see somebody going around with a gun to take your temperature, you got one, you can take theirs too if you want. So I have a lot of stuff. I'll have a separate video just on my test bag and everything I have in it, but I have clamp on meters, resistance meters, regular voltage meters, a lot of leads. It's a lot of stuff going on in this bag, but this is my test bag, and it holds all my test stuff in it. Again, this is the best bag that Klein makes, and I'll do another video with Klein just on some of their bags they have, but this has this cable, and it's really heavy duty. It's a great bag. All right, let's come over here. So, never used this yet, but this is for my Klein laser level. This is the tripod stand for it. I did pull it out to see how well it works. It's very simple to use. It gets up high enough so you can do any kind of outlets or anything that you need to do for it. And I'll do a separate video just on the Klein laser level and the tripod. So coming over here, another new purchase. Klein label maker. Everybody has to have a label maker nowadays because you got to label your panels and everything. So went ahead and spent some money, got some different tapes, everything, so we'll see how well it works out. So this is part of my DEWALT pack out. This is something I carry every day too, so it goes with my everyday DEWALT. So my everyday DEWALT box will go on top of this, and this is what I'll bring into somebody's house. So in here, it has all my bits, paddle bits, drill bits. I don't mind some of the mess. Still gotta clean some of it up. But in here, I carry various stuff. All the bits that I would need for my screw gun. So anything that I would need to do a job with my drill bits or anything like that, it all goes in here. And that's what makes some of the other boxes lighter. Then I got another box for parts, ground rod clamps, ground clips, grounding screws, wire nuts, staples, some connectors, panel connectors. Don't use a lot of Wagos here, but they are becoming the wave of the future. So these Wagos actually work pretty well. They're very secure. Always keep some extender, so if your outlet doesn't sit flush, definitely use those, especially when you're going in doing some service calls, some service work. I did turn one of my mini pack out boxes into a first aid kit. Every truck should have it, and this always goes in every day. It always has screws, raw plugs, some staples. So I always keep one of these crates empty. This is my job box, so every time before a job I will go in and set up a job, put everything in that crate that I'm going to need for that job. So it looks like that's pretty much it. I mean, on top of the truck you see I have a extension ladder. It's a 28-foot extension ladder. It is a new one. I had a 32-foot one, but that thing was 25 years old and it had some wear, so it was time for it to go. I didn't even give it away. That one had to be thrown away. It had a lot of stress cracks in it. I bought a new 12-foot ladder, and that's it. And that's pretty much my van tour. So let me know what you think. Follow my channel, and I'm going to have a lot of stuff being given away. I have a lot of actual tools. I have some Klein tool bags, DEWALT tool bags, and I got a couple of these fast rapid chargers that I don't use. I have 3 of them that I'll actually be giving away on my channel as well. So hit like, subscribe, and as I bring out some new channels, I'll be giving some cool stuff away. Some of it's worth a lot of money. So that's it. See you later.